So you're thinking about making a move to Iowa. Your friends have already given you a hard time about the Iowa, Ohio, Idaho confusion and the fact that you'll be spending your time in a flyover state rather than frolicking in the ocean or spending your weekends on epic hikes in the mountains. So you're moving here anyway, right? What do you need to know about the great state of Iowa? Here are a selection of 10 Iowa hot takes, if you will, both positive and negative, to help you understand your new home base in short order. Number 1, Iowa has a split personality when it comes to politics. Iowa's urban centers tend to be liberal, while it's the more rural areas that are much more conservative. Historically, Iowa is a swing state, but Iowa's state government is currently quite red. Like the rest of the nation, politics here can be divisive. Number 2, depending on what your expectations are for entertainment and things to do, some people will find Iowa to be boring. We don't have professional sports teams or big concert venues. Yes, you can drive to bigger cities, Chicago, Minneapolis, Milwaukee, St. Louis, Kansas City, Omaha. They're all within driving distance, but you're looking at a couple hours drive time minimum in Midwestern terms. Iowa's larger cities do make an effort to encourage festivals and events with cultural activities, so it's worth your time to keep an eye on their event calendars. Number 3, for the most part, the cost of living in Iowa is good. We've got it good here. Compared to many other areas of the U.S., our housing prices are low, and you will be pleasantly surprised with how much house you can afford, which honestly may open up other opportunities in your life, such as more travel, growing your family, or exploring other job opportunities. Housing prices are going to be more expensive in Iowa's urban centers and shockingly affordable in rural areas. But as a cautionary note, if you think that you're not going to mind a commute of 30 to 45 minutes to the big town for shopping and the amenities while you live in that small town, keep in mind that the stores in your small town may be nothing more than a Casey's gas station or a small town bar. Number 4, I'm gonna get some hate for this, but outdoor recreation is lackluster in Iowa, especially if what you're used to is the kind of things you can do in the Western United States. The geography in Iowa is not terribly interesting unless you're really into the plains. We do have a lot of wide open space if you like those unobstructed views of countryside that go on for miles. Eastern Iowa, you're going to find rolling hills, but the further west you go, it's going to get pretty darn flat. Northeast Iowa is very pretty and marked by steep, rugged landscape with bluffs and narrow valleys, and caves, cold water streams. It's part of the driftless area, which means basically that this section of northeastern Iowa, along with southwest Wisconsin, southeast Minnesota, and just a little bit of northwest Illinois, didn't get steamrolled by glaciers. And as a result, this little pocket looks very different than other parts of the upper Midwest. If you want to explore and find interesting places in Iowa, you're going to have to get off Interstate 80 and take less traveled routes. A great way to explore the state is by pedal power, and cycling is a pretty big deal here in Iowa, road, fat, or gravel. The big daddy of all cross-state bicycle rides, RAGBRAI, happens each summer here in Iowa, taking participants on a week-long ride all the way across the state, from the Missouri River to the Mississippi. Number 5, Iowa is a pretty clean place to live, with the exception of our waterways. You are not going to find clear, sparkling water to play in here, thanks to runoff. Iowa's use of renewable energy is the highest in the country, according to a 2021 American Clean Power Association report. About 58% of electricity generated in Iowa comes from renewable sources. But about that water, our rivers and lakes are not appealing. They're brown and they have high levels of bacteria and nitrates. Number 6, overall, Iowa is a very safe place to live. A recent survey by WalletHub compared all 50 states and used 53 different safety indications to determine their findings. They ranked Iowa as the 13th safest state in the nation. Number 7, Iowa is definitely a 4-season climate. If you long for all 4 seasons and what they have to offer, you are going to love it. if you hate cold gray winters or you hate hot, humid summers, you're gonna have some trying times. In terms of severe weather, your main concerns will be severe thunderstorms in the summer, ice storms in the winter, occasional flooding, and a possible tornado. People who are not from the Midwest often worry a lot about tornadoes because they seem super dramatic and dangerous, and they are. But it's important to remember the vast majority of Iowa is wide open farm fields, so the chances of a tornado ripping through your house are relatively small. Could it happen? Yes. Is it likely? No. If the weather does get particularly nasty and the sirens are going off and you don't want to stand out on your driveway and see what's happening like all your neighbors, you should head down to your basement. Number 8, Iowans have a very Midwestern mindset. What does that mean? Well, we value hard work, honesty, friendly politeness, and we generally have a live and let live attitude. As a whole, Iowans are pretty salt of the earth and humble. Number 9, food in Iowa is bland. Hey now. Those are fighting words to many people. I guess it depends on who you're asking about food and what you like to eat. We have no shortage of stick-to-your-ribs home-style cooking here, and in my opinion, you'll also be able to find some pretty good options of cuisines from around the world, especially if you're looking in Iowa's larger urban metros. And number 10, Iowa is a good place to raise a family. While it may not be the most exciting place in the world, the sum of its parts make for a good life. We've got good education, low crime, a lower key and laid back lifestyle, and reasonable cost of living. Iowa is just an easy place to live, and I am happy to welcome you here. Hey, it's been fun, and I'll catch you later.